Hello, friends. Let's learn about Ising's trait theory of personality today. Let's meet the Isings. This was a husband wife team of psychologists, Hans Ising and Sibyl Ising. Hans Ising was born in 1916 to parents who were actors. He was raised by his grandmother. He refused to join the Nazi regime and moved to London at the age of 18 in 1934. He got his PhD from King's College in 1940, University of London. Later, he was the professor of psychology at the Institute of Psychiatry in the same college, King's College, London, and researched in the Maudsley Hospital, which was attached to the King's College. He was a very prolific researcher and author and was world's most frequently cited psychologist at his death in 1997. Ising's trait theory is strongly rooted in biology. He believed that personality traits are heritable and have a psychophysiological foundation. They are biologically and genetically based. To prove this, he did number of tests such as lemon drop test. He argued that biological view is validated by the following points. The same three personality orientations are found universally, regardless of social and cultural factors. These traits show stability within the individual over long periods of time in the face of differing experiences. And evidence is also supported by the twin studies. Now, what are these three traits that he said existed and people were on various continuums? Let's get to know. According to Ising, the personality could be reduced into continuum of two broad dimensions, and each of these dimensions has a number of specific traits furthermore. Now, which are these two dimensions? The first one is extroversion versus introversion, and the second one is neuroticism versus emotional stability. Both the dimensions are on a spectrum, on a continuum, and anyone can exist anywhere on this spectrum. All the personality traits fall on this spectrum only, according to Ising. Ising later on, when he did factor analysis, he found that the extroversion, introversion, and the neuroticism versus emotional stability, these two dimensions interact with each other and they lead to a third dimension, which is psychotism versus impulse control. And finally, he came up with these three dimensions: psychotism, extroversion, and neuroticism. And furthermore, he labeled it as PEN model: P from psychotism, E for extroversion, N from neuroticism. And he said that the high E scorers are more sociable, they like parties, they have many friends, they need to have people to talk to, and do not like reading or studying by themselves. Extrovert craves for excitement, takes chances, often sticks his neck out, acts on the spur of the moment, is impulsive. While on the other hand, the introversion is dominated by high levels of responsibility. They have high reflection level, low impulsiveness, low risk taking. Can become very, very problematic if there are low levels of activity. They can become very, very lethargic. Sociability and expressiveness is low. Now, the second dimension, neuroticism versus emotional stability. Those who have high neuroticism score, they can be described as anxious, worrying individuals, moody, frequently depressed. This kind of a person is likely to sleep badly and to suffer from various psychosomatic disorders. He is overtly emotional, reacting too strongly to all sorts of stimuli, and finds it difficult to get back onto an even keel after each emotionally arousing experience. While, on the other hand, the one who is emotionally stable would be even minded, even tempered, very calm, less likely to feel tense. Those who score high on psychotism scale, they will be tough-minded, nonconformist, likely to be aggressive, cold and impersonal. They may be prone to egocentric behavior, antisocial behavior, impulsive, nonconforming and suspicious. While those who score low on the psychotism scale, they would be tender minded, warm, caring, cooperative, empathetic. conforming to social norms. According to Ising, the first two dimensions, that is extroversion and neuroticism, they interact with each other and they create four combinations related to the four basic temperaments as recognized by the ancient Greeks. The first one is melancholic, when a person scores high on introversion and scores high on neuroticism also and has unstable emotions. This person would be sad and gloomy, will show characteristics like moody, anxious, rigid, pessimistic, unsociable, quiet. While someone who scores high on unstable emotions is high on neuroticism, scores high on extroversion as well. This person will have choleric temperament, touchy, restless, aggressive, excitable, impulsive, and active. While someone who scores high on extroversion, scores low on neuroticism, is emotionally stable. This person would have sanguine temperament, sociable, talkative, responsive, easygoing, lively, very carefree person. Now, somebody who scores high on introversion, scores low on neuroticism, this person would have phlegmatic kind of temperament, very passive, thoughtful, peaceful, controlled, reliable, calm. So, this is about Ising's personality theory. We have just learned about Ising's personality theory. Now, let's learn about all the testing instruments that he made throughout his career. The first of the scales was Modesty Medical Questionnaire, which measured neuroticism. This scale was modified and became what is called as MPI, Modesty Personality Inventory, which contained a measure of extroversion also. And later the Ising Personality Inventory came in, which added a lie scale. The next change was the addition of the psychotism, that is P scale, in the Ising Personality Questionnaire, and this was out in 1975. There was some problem with the reliability of the Ising Personality Questionnaire, and it was not that very good. So it was again revised in 1985. That's all, folks, in this particular video. We're going to follow this up with the next video, wherein we are going to actually show how to administer, conduct, score, and interpret MPI. Thank you so much for being.